We turn our attention now on the SportsMax Zone to football. On Sunday, the Reggae Boyz travelled to Estadio Azteca and came up with a rare result, a 2-2 draw against the Mexicans, and a good result against the Mexicans, a powerhouse in CONCACAF at the historic stadium. And the Hamer Hallgrimsson coached side accomplished the result without their captain and a top goalkeeper, Andre Blake. Blake, who was recently a nominee for the CONCACAF Player of the Year, has been sidelined since suffering a groin injury on the 11th of March, playing for the Philadelphia Union against the Chicago Fire in the MLS. And Andre Blake now joins us via Zoom at football training, we understand, but because he has a groin injury, I suspect he himself isn't training. I hear that you're at football training with your son, Andre. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. So I'm just here, hanging out, trying to start him from early to see what he got.
How old is he, and is he a goalkeeper?
He's 9. I tell him no goalkeeping. The younger one, that's 4, he's not listening to me, though.
As in he wants to be a goalkeeper?
He wants to be a goalkeeper, yeah.
Okay. All right. Talk to us quickly about your groin injury. I know a groin injury is sometimes very difficult to conquer, and it tends to be recurring and nagging. How is your injury management going, and how soon may we see you back in competitive football?
Yeah, it's a tricky area, as you said. It has so much to do with you striking the ball and just your movements, whether it's lateral movements or forward movements. So it's very tough, but I've been working really hard in rehab. Doing everything I can to get back on the pitch, and been trying to get stronger, and hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, and of course, congratulations on being nominated CONCACAF Player of the Year for another time. How does it feel?
It's an amazing feeling, hopefully this time around I can win it all. But, it's always a great feeling to even be nominated in the first place.
You already have 3 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year awards. Of course, when people think about you, you're one of the goalkeepers they really don't want to go up against because of the number of clean sheets and whatnot that you've kept. How are you able, to keep up this consistent performance?
Yeah, I just try to get better every year. Honestly, I'm my biggest competition. And, sometimes it's very hard to stay hungry, when you have success. But for me, I try to stay humble, stay grounded. And my biggest philosophy is every year I want to get better. Whatever I did last year, the next year I want to do even more. So I just continue to push myself and, never get complacent and just try to find ways to stay hungry even when you're full.
Yeah, and as we're talking about CONCACAF Player of the Year awards, Khadija Bunny Shaw, she plays for sister team, Reggae Girls. She's also been nominated. How proud are you of her and her achievements?
I'm very proud of her. We speak a little bit sometimes, and, what she's been doing, it's been phenomenal, both for club and for country. She's got my utmost respect, and I hope she just continues to do her best and just to raise the flag high, both.
He's ready to play.
I've been trying to keep him quiet, but it's not working.
Yeah, I think he wants to be part of the interview. Andre, just talk to us a little bit more about the injury. You sustained it on the 11th of March, a grade 1 injury. From what I know, the little I know about grade 1 injuries of the groin, probably the least problematic grade. So what type of work have you been doing, and how confident are you? Saw a report earlier today suggesting it is quite likely you will be back this weekend. How confident are you that your body is ready to be back in competition this weekend?
Yeah, coming back from an injury is never easy. It's got a lot to do with the mental aspect of things. But for me, I've been in this situation before where I had the same injury. So for me, it's just important to listen to your body, to trust your instincts and you know that your trainers have your best interest at heart, and I'm feeling pretty good, and I know that there's going to be a little bit of fear, but once I get into the game, I kind of just lock in and I don't care about anything else, and I'll be ready to go. The biggest part for me, again, is the mental aspect, to kind of talk yourself through it, to let yourself kind of know that, you're okay. And once you can get that in your head, everything else will be fine.
Yeah, something struck me about what Jim Curtin, the union manager, said. He's been a quick healer in the past. Can you develop on that statement for us?
Yeah, I've had I've done the same injury before. Actually, that time around was a grade 2, so it's more severe than it is now. I've had 2 knee surgeries. I've had a hand surgery. So it's not the first time I've been sidelined by injuries, and just like when I'm playing, I'm very dedicated to what I'm doing. So whenever I'm hurt, I don't want to stay hurt. I want to be back on the pitch. So I normally make sure I get enough sleep, make sure I eat right, pay attention to my rehab, and do everything that I can possibly to get back to where I need to be, to get back on the pitch. So maybe he's just speaking a little bit from experience, because for me, it's important when you get these injuries, you have to really focus on, paying attention to what really caused the injury, and make sure that you really strengthen those areas so you don't really get that injury again, and take it serious so you can have a quick turnaround to be back out there.
Yeah, I know it can be frustrating when you continuously get injured. I want to know, though, if you have in any way developed a way or thought more about how you prevent the injuries. Clearly, when you do get them, you have to deal with them. But and I know it's difficult, but have you spent extra time, just trying to work out how do I avoid some of these injuries?
I wouldn't say I get frustrated, because the injuries do come, but when they did, it was few and far apart, so there was never a time where, I really had a chance to get frustrated, because there was like one after the other. I think the only time that happened was in the earlier part of my career, was like 2014 or 2015, when I had a knee surgery, and then I came back and I did another knee surgery. Other than that, the injuries were, the last time I did my adductor was 4 years ago. The same thing that we refer to as the groin. That was 4 years ago, and after that, it's probably once a year I have an injury, or every 2 or 3 years. So I wouldn't really say it's frustrating, because it doesn't happen a lot. But there's some things that you can prevent, and some things just happen. Like I broke my hand. It was almost like an accident, in a sense, where I went to make a save and my hand hit the post. So there's no way to really prevent that from happening. But again, it's hard, when these different competitions, when these different competitions ask so many games of you, and especially when you're a regular starter, and all the travels and all the different playing, it does take a toll on you. And sometimes you can be super careful, but when you're playing games week in, week out, you can't get to do as much strength work as you would want to, and that's just a part of it. If you're gonna play every game, every minute, and including travels, something's got to give.
Yeah. Andre, we're going to leave it there. There is a discussion that we're going to have at some point about the Caribbean players in the MLS at the moment, but we've got to wrap the segment now, because too few Caribbean players are in the MLS. Given the history of our region in the MLS, people like Stern John, who has records at Columbus Crew, Ezra Hendrickson from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, LA Galaxy winner as well, and very few Caribbean players now in the MLS. We will talk about that sometime in the future, but get well quickly, and we are anxious to see you back in the goal.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, Andre Blake there, national captain and goalkeeper, Philadelphia Union MLS star, and CONCACAF Player of the Year nominee. Back with more on The Zone after this.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news, and entertainment.